How do people who are in your denominations and in the UK, how do people respond to that idea that's still common in many churches that women in church leadership is not biblical and it's not Christian?
I would ask them, why do you think that? Because I think it's always good to get down to where that actually comes from. Was it something that they've always been told? Was it because women in the early church weren't? Because then I can come back to them and say, yesterday was St. Phoebe's Day, actually was. She was a deacon in the church. Paul introduced her in Romans chapter 16. So there has always been women in leadership. Some of it may come from being brought up in churches where they didn't see. And if you don't see, then you don't think it can happen. Some of it comes from sexism and misogyny, which you can then talk about with people. But actually just opening a Bible and saying, look, there were women. Why are we thinking this now? And just getting under the root cause of why people think that, I think it's really, really important. I haven't had a conversation like that with someone, but I would have to take a really deep breath before I answered. Instead of being like, well, because I am here, because God called me, which is true, actually opening up conversations. And I think when people feel listened to, I might not change their mind, but at least they will go, she listened and she heard me. And actually, she told me a couple of things that I didn't know before. And our church is always evolving. And hopefully a lot of that's being stamped out now. It took a long time to get women priests in the Church of England. It took a long time to get women bishops. So the next generation is absolutely fine. And I think it's all to do with conversations and getting to know people. And if I have to, I will strongly explain that I had a calling from God that would not let up. It wasn't a want, it was a need. But it's good to get in there and try and understand even more.
One of the reasons that I switched from one of the churches that I was at to this one now, where I'm being led by a female, is that I have two daughters and I did not want to give them this message that you could be anything you want to be except for a priest.
Absolutely.
Except for a pastor. That just seemed crazy to me. And so I wanted to put them in a place where I could really say, hey, you can be anything. And I mean it. And I'm giving them structures that show them that that's true.
Yeah, that's really beautiful because that's how I feel as well. I've just got one daughter, it's my only child. And yeah, it's exactly the same messaging I want to give to her. It's really important to have our girls go out there feeling that they literally can do everything that they want to do. So important.